quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll start the drive with Hill. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. First pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at the 34. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 41. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Here's Hill again on 2nd down. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
It looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Mayfield. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. One of those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
From down near his goal line here, Herbert steps away. This complete to Langford. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they got themselves a 1st down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. They find some open field here. There he goes, right side. 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line, out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Jalen Darden. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They'll give up the gun to Hill. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On second and 12, Mayfield. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Mayfield. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
They work again from the 38 on second and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the foot.
Touchdown, LA! Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Darden now going to bring this one out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, Mayfield. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. They'll run straight ahead with Hill. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here's Hill one more time. And not much room to speak of. They'll get about 3 up to the 41. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, something you got to play a long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Mayfield looks to throw. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 40. A third down gain of 19. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now a 10th carry for Hill. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Quick slant complete to Howard. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Here we go with Hill. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stopped him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Throwing on 2nd down. Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
And the Chargers first down.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Chargers at 8-4 now in the year, and they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 21-0. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that are watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Darden now going to bring this one out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield now. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. To throw, Mayfield. That's caught by Howard. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Play fake. Mayfield. Underneath here to Hill. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
This offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. On target over the middle to Hill. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll run for it with Hill. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield gets this one to Hill. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Working with a 2nd and 4. Now a give here to Hill. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bucs get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 28-7 ball game.
Buccaneers 7.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back at the back seven, phenomenal.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Mayfield keeps it himself. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Mayfield to throw it this time. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now give that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamel Dean. So canceled the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ballgame, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. 83 yards on the ground for him so far. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. It's Eckler again. They juked him. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert. That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Buccaneers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Mayfield on 1st down. And he finds Howard complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Going again on the ground here with Hill. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Now carry number 20 here for Hill. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. There he goes, left side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Meanwhile, Mayfield so complete here, pulled in by Howard. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. And this one caught downfield by Evans. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Hill going to try the right side. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Hill again on 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and my goodness, another interception. And the Chargers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
On first down, Justin Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. Let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
But Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances and the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get into the end zone with ease.
They're certainly in that zone where almost everything they try is successful and often leads to points. Teams don't get those types of games very often, so when they do, many of them just want to take advantage of it to the last second.
Darden now going to bring this one out of the end zone.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Mayfield's throw taken in by Evans here. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And his throw here's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Mayfield. This is caught by Evans. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Sam Sloman now for the point after.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Darden now going to bring this one out of the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on and get back to practice in the next couple of days.
To Evans on the slant. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's a gain of 3. And the Buccaneer first down.
Up the middle, it's Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to get it back here just past the 35. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
The Charles are still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
They're going to pass here with Herbert. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And that's complete to Trey McKitty, the tight end. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Herbert on 1st down now. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end.